Wow, what a beautiful day to behold today, Tuesday, the 19th day of March 2025. Good morning and welcome to Beyond the Headlines on Baramatu Voice TV, reaching you live from the Niger Delta Media Center here in Ogunowori, Delta State. This is where we serve you the hottest headlines, most intriguing conversations, and fresh take on the news that matters. We are super excited to be here this morning to share updates with you. But I am not alone. I am Agowe Nico. And with me in the studio today is...
Yes, as usual, Bestolowo is my name. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines this morning, where we take you beyond the news, giving you in-depth analysis and perspective that matters. Good morning.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, so moving forward, we will be bringing you the hottest headlines making the headway. Talking about the rivers crisis and a whole lot more to be discussed, especially the state of emergency declared in Rivers State. What is at stake? All of this is what you get to know on the program. And we encourage our viewers to like, share, comment, and get involved in our discussion today. And we will be opening our call line to call us live to hear your discussions and opinions on what's on ground. So go nowhere. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, on Baramatu Voice. Yes, and also visit our website at www.baramatuvoicenews.com to get the latest updates on the news happenings around you.
All right, quickly, before moving forward, I just want to go through some comments we have on the comment section quickly before we move into full business of the day. All right, I have a comment from Aiba Dobra. A power play because the political crisis in Rivers State has not gotten to where the president will call for a state of emergency. It is a political blunder and a violation of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What happened to states like Borno and Zamfara that has suffered insurgency and insecurity for a long time? Why not declare a state of emergency there? Every act is a seed, and everyone will reap according to the seeds he has sown. Yes, that was a comment from Dobra. Thank you, Dobra, for that wonderful one. Please want to see more of your comments while the program continues. Dave is saying there is no law in Nigeria. That is a comment from Dave. All right. I have from Oshuko Precious, power play. Politics is who gets what, when, and how. Now, that is a comment from Precious. I have a comment from Idowu. Sometimes, when mob are clapping for you, please run away from them. The president gave reasons, which I believe is substantial. No reasonable commander-in-chief will not act fast at this time. Our economy is just coming back to life, knowing fully well that Rivers State is one of the states that we earn revenue from. To me, it is not a power play. That is an opinion from Ido. All right, I have from Ogechi Blessing. Try to send me something. All right, okay, I don't really get this one. All right, moving forward. Okay, that is all I have on the comments for today.
Okay, thank you very much. Right now, we'll be going straight into top stories making the headlines. And the first one here says, state of emergency declared in Rivers State. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, citing prolonged political crisis and security concerns. The announcement was made in a nationwide broadcast on Tuesday night. Military takes over Rivers Government House. Following the emergency declaration, the Nigerian military has taken control of key government institutions in Port Harcourt, including the Government House, where Governor Fubara remains inside. Armed soldiers have also been stationed at strategic locations across the state capital.
All right. Yes, moving forward. Thank you, Agogo, for that wonderful one. Ibok Ete Kwebas appointed administrator of Rivers State. In response to the crisis, President Tinubu has appointed retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Kwebas
And Tinubu's decision, calling it divisive and politically motivated. The forum accused the federal government of bias and failing to address the root causes of the crisis. NBA rejects emergency declaration, calls it unconstitutional. The Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has described Tinubu's decision as a violation of democratic principles, warning that it sets a dangerous precedent over governance in Nigeria.
All right, still on the news making it to the headlines. Atiku Abubakar criticizes Tinubu's move in Rivers. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has accused the president of using the state of emergency as a tool for political manipulation, alleging that the federal government failed to prevent the crisis in the first place. 2 arrested over Trans-Niger pipeline explosion. The Rivers State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of 2 suspects following Monday night's explosion at the Trans-Niger pipeline. Authorities are investigating the cause of the blast and potential sabotage.
The Rivers State government responds to emergency declaration. The Rivers State government has vowed to engage with relevant institutions to address the crisis. Commissioner for Information and Communications, Warisenebo Joe Johnson, assured residents that the government is committed to protecting democracy in the state. Moving forward, we have Ijaw Diaspora Council condemns Tinubu's decision. The Ijaw Diaspora Council has strongly criticized President Tinubu's declaration, calling it unconstitutional and politically motivated. The council accused Minister Nyesom Wike of influencing the decision to destabilize the Rivers State government.
National Assembly confirms consultation on emergency declaration. The National Assembly has confirmed that President Tinubu consulted lawmakers before declaring the state of emergency. Representatives stated that due process was followed. Senate probes Cameroon's annexation of Nigerian maritime territory. The Senate has launched an investigation into the alleged annexation of the Nigerian mangrove island in Akwa Ibom by Cameroon. Lawmakers are calling on the president to take urgent actions to protect the country's territorial waters.
Moving forward, Governor Fubara calls for peace amid Rivers crisis. Rivers State Governor Siminalaye Fubara has urged residents to remain calm and law-abiding following emergency declaration. He assured the public and his government is exploring all legal options to resolve the situation. 33 killed in road accidents across Edo State. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has reported that 33 people lost their lives in road accidents across Edo State between January and February. Authorities are urging drivers to prioritize road safety.
Police arrest a female gun runner, bandits suppliers. The Nigerian police force has arrested a female gun runner and several others suspected of supplying weapons and drugs to terrorists in Nasarawa, Yobe, and Katsina states. The suspects were found within 124 rounds of live ammunition in palm oil containers. Two killed in renewed Ebonyi communal clash. A fresh communal clash in Ivo local government area of Ebonyi State has claimed 2 lives. The conflict involves the Umuobo, Akeze, and Ogwo communities, which have been locked in a long-standing land dispute.
Still on the news making the headlines, Senator Akpoti Odwagan alleges harassment in Senate. Senator Natasha Akpoti Odwagan has linked the Senate to a court, alleging that lawmakers use intimidation and harassment to suppress dissenting voices. She vowed to speak up against undemocratic process. FCT Minister Wike revokes PDP National Secretariat land. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has revoked the land allocation for the People's Democratic Party, PDP, National Secretariat over unpaid ground rents. The decision has sparked outrage within the opposition party.
All right, still on the news. House of Representatives passes 4 tax bills. The House of Representatives have passed 4 major tax bills proposed by President Tinubu. The legislation, which has faced delays for months, aims to reform Nigeria's tax system and improve revenue generation. Edo governor to probe $10 million spending on state-owned newspaper. Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo has announced plans to investigate the spending of $10 million on the Nigerian Observer newspaper under former Governor Godwin Obaseki. The governor made a revelation during an unscheduled visit to the media house.
Moving forward, Trump claims Putin agrees to immediate ceasefire in Ukraine war. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that Russian President Vladimir Putin has agreed to an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine. Trump described their conversation as productive, though the Kremlin has not officially confirmed the claim. And the last story making it to our headlines this morning, Super Eagles hold first training ahead of Rwanda's clash. The Nigerian men's football team, the Super Eagles, held their first training session on Tuesday in preparation for the upcoming match against Rwanda. The team is aiming for a strong performance in the international fixture. And that's the headlines update on Beyond the Headlines on Gbaramatu Voice TV, reaching you live from the Niger Delta Media Center here in Ogunu, Warri, Delta State. We will be going on a short break, and when we come back, we will be talking on the political crisis leading up to the emergency declarations, Governor Fubara's position, and of course, response from the Rivers residents. And I will also be talking about PDP, NBA, and other bodies, their reaction towards the state of emergency declared in Rivers State. So don't go nowhere, because today is going to be hot. Yes. So we'll like you to share your comments in the comment section, and of course call in. We want to hear your view. Yes, we'll have our numbers now displayed on the screen for you to call in and share your contributions. We would love to hear your take in all of this.
All right, and I have some comments on the comment section before we go on this short break. Coming from Anthony. Which process do federal governments follow to declare state of emergency in Rivers State? Please, is there war in Rivers State? Why not declare state of emergency in the northern Nigeria, where killing is the order of the day? That is coming from Anthony Uzoka. All right, Prince Daniel, this country really needs prayers and God-fearing to move on. All right, that is from Prince. Now, I have from Frank West, President Tinubu should be impeached for violating the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Tinubu appropriated to himself the powers to make law for the Rivers State House of Assembly, which is an impeachable offense. All right, that is from Frank West. All right, I have from James, Mr. President must do things right, not by declaring state of emergency. All right, that is from James. Yes, and that is all I have on the comment section. Yes, let's go on the short break, and when we come back, we'll go into food details of the day.
Welcome back from the short break. It's still beyond the headlines on Gbaramatu Voice TV, reaching you live from the Niger Delta Media Center here in Ognu, Warri, Delta State. And now we'll have a whole lot to unpack for you this morning. And of course, we'll be having a calling guest in the person of His Royal Highness Alabonengi James to tell us more on the emergency, on the state of emergency declaration by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday. Yes, but before we go there, we'll quickly take a repeat of one of the news story for proper clarification. Trump claims Putin agrees to immediate ceasefire in Ukraine war. The U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that Russian President Vladimir Putin has agreed to an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine. Trump described their conversation as productive, though the Kremlin has not officially confirmed the claim. Thank you very much. And that's all on the news story. Now we'll be diving into the story of the day. The state of emergency.
Emergency, yes. Declared by the president, by Mr. President.
Now, do you think it's actually, does it call for a state of emergency?
Yes. For a state of emergency?
Some persons are saying, are there issues? Is there a war? Like, why do you have understand? To go to that extent?
Even some of the comments that we've been having, they'll be like, Mr. President, there've been issues, there've been war, like war in the northern state.
Insecurity
and there was no
issues.
Sort of state of emergency. And now state of emergency in
over
Rivers.
Political dispute.
Is there something underneath, or
is there something we do not know?
Exactly. That is what we're going to
and that's why we need your comments in the comment section, and for you to always call to be a part of this. Let's hear your view. We'd like to hear your view on that. So please, we'll quickly put our guests to call now to delve into the matters at hand. Yes, talking about the political crisis, to the state of emergency, Governor Fubara's position, his take on that. Okay.
We have a guest on the phone. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Baramatu Voice.
Yes. Good morning, sir. Yes, this is for
Baramatu Voice ladies.
All right.
But no gentleman. I think bring a gentleman behind.
All right.
Or in the center.
All right, no problem.
right.
We'll do just
Yes.
No, you have to do it. Bring a
Okay.
man behind so that we should be hearing a man voice too.
All
Okay,
right. When
sir.
next you come, we will do just
Noted.
that. Noted, sir.
Definitely, it is part of my gender consciousness. Gender is not for only female. Two females taking over that studio for some time. I think we need to do some amendments because we will be also comfortable to hear a man's voice questioning
Oh,
Okay,
or
sir.
commenting.
all
I
right.
think try, and that is my observation. Please
All
try
right.
and blend it with one male voice in between the two female voice.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
That is my observation. Very serious observation.
All right, sir.
Before we go forward in any discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for that observation. We will do just that. Just for clarification purpose, our audience, we're on phone with His Royal Highness Alabo Nengi James. So, sir, quickly, without wasting our times diving into the issue as it is hot and intense, state of emergency was declared in Rivers State yesterday, and the sitting governor Fubara was suspended, given a 6-month suspension. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu declaring a state of emergency. Not just that, impeaching a sitting governor. Do you think it is an overreach of executive power, or it is a justified measure? Do you think it is justified?
Yes. First, I want to also correct the naming of my personal self. I am Sealabo Dr. Nengi James OON.
Okay.
And that is an act. So if you are violating it, I can sue you also.
Oh, we are
All
sorry,
right.
sir.
It is my right, anytime, anywhere, my name is mentioned and written. The OON is a national honor
Oh, no.
given to me by the Federal President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So you are not just talking to the person, but you are talking to somebody who is highly revered and
Recognized,
in the
yes.
Nigerian state.
All right. Noted, sir.
Yeah. So based on your question, I earlier in our recent discussion or interaction, I mentioned that you will call me back. I mentioned it that because I'm following up what is happening covertly and overtly. So I know that I'm not a prophet, but I have told the whole world that they have option A and B. I equally told you that Abalama show was expected that something will happen there, and nothing happens. So all what you are asking me, I've also let you know, let the cat out of the bag to the world. We are only trying to repeat it, whether it's lawful, whether it's illegal, whether what the president has so much power. I've earlier told you, throughout his speech, he did not say anything. First, when we are interacting, I told you that it is President Tinubu's agenda on Rivers State. I told even when I was ending, I told you
said that
Wike is just a forerunner. Just like John the Baptist. It is President Tinubu's political agenda and election financing process. Those are the two major. Any other thing is just hiding under Wike's interest. Those ones are becoming secondary domestically. Nationally, it is Tinubu's pure, and it's getting, every day is getting clearer. And his speech will let you know that he's only talking about Fubara, and Fubara. That has also exposed his interest. Two, I want to say that what are the constitutionality, what are the process of declaring state emergency. It must be either natural events, natural issues. It has to do with security, law, and other, with a few things that I know. If we read the Constitution and the sections, you will understand how state of emergency is being created or announced or proclaimed. And you see that because the script is already written, their plans is that the job people will do wonders and they will capitalize on that. Unfortunately, the job people are getting wiser and wiser. So we did not fall into their trap. So they are always look at options to see what will happen. Now, from the grapevine, they now pick hold on explosion. Now, between you and me, we are those explosions in a job territory? No. So, job people did not. So it is already pre-determined, pre-planned. There are things that are already planned that if this thing doesn't work, we will use this to capitalize on it. Because if you look at his speech, he said explosion because he has nothing to say. That those explosions, who are the people that do that work? I think we are still waiting because if an offense is committed, we expect that those people, if it is a sabotage, it is people that they should apprehend the people and prosecute them. We are waiting, but between you and me, because some of us are really in these issues, we are interested.
Two people has been apprehended, apparently.
No, anybody that is apprehended is just a capital show. You don't know. The police can come and display 10 people. That these people are armed robbers. The next day they are walking in the street. There is what we call, let me not say what we call, there is what I know that they use judges' rule, especially police, in apprehending people. You know why they do so? When something happens somewhere, they go to comb that area because they don't know who is the exact person. So when the place is combed, now they do what we call identification parade. The exact person will want to be traced, either through statements or people will come and identify them. So this issue of displaying that we have arrested people is between just to tell the world that people have been arrested.
Okay, sir. Talking about the explosion, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah,
so talking about the explosion, in the president's speech yesterday, he said that Governor Fubara refused to disown the militant statement in blowing up this pipeline. Do you think that is also enough to fault Governor Fubara on the decision?
I'm just telling you what is going on. The president has already taken side. From the day we begin this, we started this discussion, I've been letting you know, he's already on the other side. You cannot be a judge in your own matter. I've told you, the president is, the person is just too powerful of that position. In fact, I've also told you that I have forgotten when he was in Nadeko chieftain. I continue to say it. In the years past, we see people as Democrats. As soon as they get into power, they are lion and elephant, including crocodile. So I am very wonderful who will continue to rely on when such persons are using another tongue wagging and deceiving the Nigerian populace that we are Democrats. The next thing is turn to be a tyrannic leader or autocratic leader. That is what we observe. In the military, he that was a victim of military people now is using military people to, the number of trucks yesterday, as I'm interacting with my people, the number of military trucks that was going into River State and Government House, my brother, is enough to take over a state directly. and that war can last for at least 3 weeks. That is what they are doing. I earlier told you how they went to Abalama. Mr. President visiting a state, you know the number of security that will be there. So that is exactly what they did in Abalama. This one, you may see the video going around, but that is even the small side of the video. As at last night, as I'm talking to you, those things are excused. They say when they want to kill a dog, they use several names to tongue lash the dog because they want to eat it. It was their domestic animal, but they will say, hey, he nearly bite me. He wanted to do this. So we don't need to keep him rather than to do away with him. That is exactly what he is using. Mr. President has no option to use strategy to convince the populace and the people and the military to support. So the military is always by his side because there is no security that will not listen to Mr. President.
All right.
The president gives you an order, you do it. So my brother, my sister, those explosions is even queryable. Are they committed by job people? Who are these militants? Who is Governor Fubara in charge of militants? What do you want him to say when we have Operation Delta Safe that is claimed to be interacting with militants and to come and protect the interest of the oil well?
Do you think this could be a strategy from Wike's end as well? You know, it talked about it is not only the Ijaws that can blow pipeline, you know, doing his speech then. And now
I listen to him, I'm aware.
And now we are seeing this. So do you think it could be a strategy from his end? If you feel...
I have told you, that is what I'm telling you. You know, if you listen to me well, apart from asking me questions, before you go to the next question, I've answered the next one, follow. I have told you that this explosion happened in Ijaw territory. The answer is no. If you are talking about Wike's statement, he has already told you that Ijaw has no monopoly of blowing off pipeline. That means there are other people in Niger Delta can blow pipeline. So if you are going by that statement, then why nobody should even suspect us? You see how the explosions are moving on. So by the time now they plant their own supporters in doing what they are doing, even in Ijaw territory, what did they mean? Now they started from their flank. Now they might move to Ijaw territory because they have grabbed the state. Do you know that even military and security people commit criminality a lot? I have caught them when I was oil and gas shaman. So they are not exempted in causing sabotage. They are not exempted to be used by executive leaders to go and commit an offense of grievous offense. So that is the situation.
Okay,
Some of the things that you are seeing being doing are paid by government people to go and do what they want to do. They have the uniform by their side, they have the gun, they have the ID card. So when government do something, you understand that nobody will be caught. In less than, Pasha said it, if within 24 hours you don't see anything happening, know that government is behind it. But I'm not so worried. The situation is that the whole world is seeing it. And the game plan is now open for us to now look at what they are doing. But the worst thing that has happened is that the rivers people, we are caged. They are militarily caged because they have started going from one house to the house of Fubara supporters and those who do not support the federal government. As I'm talking now, people are being threatened. Last night they were raiding places, looking for the opposite side of Wike and trying to go from one house to the other, to their community level, not even Port Harcourt. That is to tell you what is going on. That is the dictatorship that we have now. So I think when they are in power, they never knew that tomorrow they will have less than 2 military men or 1 policeman guiding them. It's unfortunate. My president was there. Today when he's moving, I think the convoy is not as long as it was. So I want to, even now he's even giving preference. At the how many people go on is moving up. And where is IBB? So some of things you are doing it because that time you have the power. And you can do it, but nature definitely play out. Look at those who killed Kensaro Wiwa. How did they go about it? Look at that military brigade commander. He's gone already. He has been buried for a long time. Look at the man that was in charge when he died long ago. Look at Delegiwa's issue. Look at the man. Can he walk anywhere? No. Some people, they don't fear God. When they feel that they are in government, they can do all what they do. But the good thing is that God never sleeps. God do not give them that power to undermine the citizens of their people.
Okay,
so
thank you very much,
God.
sir. Sir, still talking about the president's speech and away from the explosion, which he said is part of the reasons he did what he did. Now, he still cited in the president's speech, he talked about Governor Fubara dissolving the State House of Assembly as way back 13th December 2023, and up till now, which is 14 months later, it hasn't been rebuilt. And he also talked about remaining. Hello, sir. Still talking about the speech.
I'm with you.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Okay, sir. And he also talked about the Supreme Court order, which about the passing of the appropriation bill. And we all know that Governor Fubara tried to submit it, but he wasn't given access to the House of Assembly. So do you think all of this is just something to just bring up an issue and bring up a case over Fubara?
He has nothing to tell the world. All of us is aware of the drawback situation, governor accusing us for assembly, all of us are aware. To the left, he just told his statement. Why is it on Fubara? The wicked is a very innocent man. Yeah, that is what you are telling me. The issue is that Fubara I have told you, when this man, I know these people, when politician is very interested on his next election, they can do everything, madam, everything. You will not see a governor go to kill, but people will kill for him. It is them that will kill for him, but he knows that the person has been killed. So what they will do everything, or even using this mouth to talk. Okay, why are they going after them again? Why are they going after? Did they go after the wicked House of Assembly people? Say no. The wicked House of Assembly, immediately after the suspension, they came up that they are in support. It should tell you that it's a script. All what is putting down there as letters, they are all just, is the president.
Your call credit has been exhausted and your call...
Speaking with His Royal Highness Dr. Nengi Alabo James, who is the second vice president of the Ijaw National Congress. And he has been telling us his point of view regarding the situation at hand and the state of emergency declared in Rivers State. We'll put him back on the call shortly.
All right, let me call him back.
Speech that is supposed to be in trash. It's not because all Nigerians is aware of what he will say. He is already a judge who cannot sit on his own case. So we have already passed vote of no confidence on Mr. President. On that matter.
Okay.
He remain our president, but on this Rivers matter, I think most of us from this side of the end will never trust his judgment. Because one, he did not even follow up the constitutional provision, talk less of whether it's legal or illegal. It is today or tomorrow that he will want to pass the document to Senate or Reps. In fact, all these things should have been discussed and passed before he proclaimed emergency rule. It's there in the Constitution. But the man who is in that, our biggest problem is Akpabio, Wike, and Mr. President presently, whether we like it or not. That is the gangsterism that is going on against Nigerian state. And if we are not careful, it will repeat at another state. Because it might not be Tinubu, but another president will come and do it. Because it happens in Bayelsa, we will look at it. The job people are washing, thinking it's Bayelsa matter. And the same job people who sold their person, like Judas Iscariot. They went back to Rivers State again. The same job people we are behind Wike. God is not sleeping. They are also from communities. So what I'm saying is that Mr. President using his power or not his power, it does not end as Mr. President. Everybody has blood. Everybody has a way to answer on his faithful day. So I believe that what is happening now, I have already said it, we have had it both covertly and overtly from the people with them. Every day we hear something because we too are connected. We too are connected. So this option B is already there. But what they know is that they thought that the court process will go on. And when they look at the court process, the thing is not going back. And also, you didn't remember something. Wike said, if Fubara wants to be there, let him allow him to control the local government. And let him also sign that is not coming for 2027. So what is playing out? You are saying that you are suspending a governor, an elected governor and deputy, and including the House. Some people say yes, because two of them are in dispute. So the case of Supreme Court ruling, where Mr. Jonathan is not having the right to suspend the governor, there was a case like that. I'm not a lawyer, but I remember. So the Supreme Court ruled that the governor has no right to suspend the governor. Fine. And now some people are saying that argument is that it was based on security. But now, politically, the House of Assembly and the governor, they are in dispute. If you take the governor's side, then what will the House of Assembly? So it seems they are that is just literal talk. It is academic wash. Constitutionally, everything is there. People like to amend situation for themselves. When it favored them, there is rule of law. When it didn't favor them, it's not for the common man. That is what is playing, and Nigeria has no respect for rule of law. If they have respect for rule of law, Kanu case has been to Supreme Court to release. Why didn't they release him? Is Rivers State more engulfed of ISIS than the Southeast? No. Till today, the Southeast is crisis. Did they declare state of emergency? Till today, Boko Haram is ruling Zamfara and other areas because of gold mining, protecting gold miners.
Okay,
and
sir.
The military is
talking about the
them
president using its power, sir. Talking about the president using its power, please, I want to take you back to 2013 and May 16th, when which is Tinubu, which was the former governor of Lagos State, condemned President Ebele Jonathan for declaring state of emergency in Borno Yobe, and Adamawa. And in his words, I want to read out his words as at then in 2013. Okay, he said, has intimidated and emasculated the governors of this state, which is clearly a display of unpardonable and mediocrity and diabolic partnership geared towards 2015. Now, this was the comment of President Tinubu, who was the former governor of Lagos State as at then.
Yes.
Now, do you think this playing now is like more of swallowing what you vomited?
I told you earlier, the two beds that are flowing together, are they ashamed of themselves on past species? Thank God you have read this. If you go back to read, at the end, even the recent one, he said he did not abuse the job people. That is how they continue to deny. This is what you are reading now is here in my handset. I just downloaded it. So I'm aware this man has talked. This man was also a man that was having the people supporting him when he was in Lagos. When OBJ, a Yoruba man like him, you understand, stopped his allocation, the entire world and every Nigerian do not support OBJ on that matter. And though it was part of that issue that OBJ started the third tenor issue and the Democrats swapping. I talking here in Port Harcourt. I led this. We were all arrested. Luckily, the Paprie sent message to Odele, and I was released instantly. The rest of them, Prime Rose, Toby, and many, we are taken to court, and they were released in court. Those are things we pass through. And now the same man who made that statement, now if that statement turn around against him, now the speech he made, is he not ashamed of the speech? Now, show him that speech. He say, that was politics now. Leave that thing. We are talking about. Look, the truth of the matter, let's don't go back and front. Whether or not, I have told earlier. It is Tinubu possible agenda for 2027. Wike is carved to do the need dirty for him as a forerunner. Period. I also want to relate this with Platon president. When the Wike got governor, use all strategy to see that Meshi was dismal or dignified. Wike become governor. So Wike has known all this strategy that you with pretense of being loyal and being kneeling down or being bowing down. He has all those stuff. He has money with him. I've told you earlier how he started this business of paying and bankrolling people so that anytime he wants to do something, he also know he keep records so that most of them can talk. Look at what he's doing to PDP. The PDP house, he was holding meeting 6 years. Now he's revoking their license. Is it not to frustrate everything? But they are not God. So we should not talk. I think what the good thing is that Rivers State is in peace. No life lost. People are living in peace. As far as I'm concerned, yes, they have declared state of emergency. Yes. The man that will be there is not a saint. He was just a military man, a friend to the military giant. So anything they do, they will still live.
I was even coming to that military involvement. You know, now that the military has now occupied key areas in Port Harcourt, do you think this will restore order or it will escalate, tension further?
Whether he escalates or is not, I'm trying to keep mute because when certain things are happening, we don't need to bring them to public again. We have to go inward and do stay inward. So I'm only talking to that. I decide not to talk, but because it's Baramatu. But other media, maybe I will not talk again. Because why? We need to watch the situation. Let there be no tension talk, no threat. You understand? Surprise can even be the strongest. So I want to say that we don't need to say the whole thing, talk everywhere, and nothing happens. And we are not going to fight with the military. What option A, B, and D is now for us? What are we going to plan democratically? What next are we going to do? Because they are not going to vote themselves. Mr. President itself, as I told you, the River State money and the election are the issue. I've told you severally. Wike, when he was there, he was financing the PDP convention and congresses with River State money. And because everybody knows Lagos, River State, and Kano is the volume of votes and where monies need to be, So you see that Gamje is at Kano end. They are still using Gamje. They are still caught at the throne Sanusi again. So you see the play out. Lagos is secured. I've told you, all what you are seeing is that they are just playing pranks over us. Lagos is already secured. Now what next is Rivers. Kano is also partially secured. So they are now after Rivers State. The rest, they are not worried. That is what is happening. That is why they want to conduct the local government election at the grassroots level. How can somebody who is not directly is wonderful. Look at what they are doing. That local government election will be conducted. That is part, I think it was part of his speech. How can that should be done? You see what that is to tell you that the script is really being done and executed and done by what Wike rendered to Mr. President. Because Wike, in all his statements, is structure. He wants the local government. And that is what is also playing out. When you grab the local government, definitely the local government mobilize and do the needful for the rest of the elections. But it will not be the case. I say you will call me back again. Because I have used another word. Surprise can even be the strongest. Things fall apart. Thank you and God bless you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you very much for that. Now, still talking about the state of emergency. Many Ijaw leaders, including the former governor of Rivers State in the person of Serake Dixon, they have all come out to condemn this act. Move. Yes. So do you think, do you agree with them on this base, or do you think it's just sentiments as Ijaw nation?
You shouldn't have asked me this question now. Already I have told you their plan A and B, and they have executed the B. And I have earlier told you that the job people we are seeing already as biased. Where is Saraki Dixon from? He's from the John Nation. He's one of our leaders, and he's in the Senate. I have also challenged many of them who do not want to talk. It is after now they are saying something. Fine, they are our people. They need to say something. Those Dixon have mentioned that go deeply to inform you that the John Nation leaders are not happy with the situation. Whether it's a job or not, let me also inform you this. Now take another one. Go and write it anywhere. 2/3 of the law.
Hello, sir. Can you take that again, sir? Hello, sir. Due to network. Hello, sir.
Because if you don't know at least some work with years and Ike Clark and I 15 years. I have learned. I told to Kaduna and where I still ask them, why are you always coming to North? His brother, my son, is the only people that we have played politics with. Have sympathy for us. They have empathy for us. The rest group don't want us to exist. I say, this is a something they told me at 15 years ago, because if I'm the leader, we will always go in the bus, the separate bus, the same bus, sleep, we will go here. Individually, we can visit some of these elders in other areas. But anytime we are going to the north, we go as a big delegation, and we were giving proper befitting. In fact, the SNG and the deputy governor are lying down. They are back. Here we don't respect people. Before you know, as a youth leader, I have everything to my constant, just visiting them. That is how the situation was. So, to tell you the truth, ODJ came and did what he did. I should not mention it. He was a Yoruba man. This man has come again. He took all what we will get. I've told you earlier that he's a capitalist. The only capitalist that have become president is Tinubu. The rest people, we are military men, and the rest people, we are teachers. So you can see the only man who now a stopgap measure, as a stopgap measure, was this man who stayed for temporary time, that is late. I had his name before. So that is the situation we are. So all what we are talking about is that the job people are not happy.
Okay.
But we are also grateful to God, because we don't want to shortchange our blood for the nation. Our oil is being their benefits, so we cannot die and allow our children, our wives and children and youths to die because of what is to happen. You know what happened in Ogoni land. You know what happened in Oti. You know what happened in Umechen. You know what happened in Gbaramatu. You know what happened in Oyakoromo. You know what happened in elsewhere. That is what is a learning process. We have learned a lot, and we are also careful. So anything that will come thereafter, madam, you will live to hear it. I've told you the situation now. Those who kill Ogoni Mate suffered, and those who killed Delegiwa is suffering, and those who committed the crisis, and they are not at well too. I also told you Doyo Kupe and my issue, where he came to collect his money and what I dealt with him. And I'm not saying that we are friends, but you cannot do a German and the Niger Delta people who are feeding you and you stay free. Some of these people in no near time will come back to tell you they apologize.
Okay,
for me,
don't you think, I was just about to talk about, the way forward when you were saying, talking about the Ijaw people and all of that. I wanted to say, don't you think the Ijaw National Congress should engage with the federal government on this matter?
Let me inform you. Look, as we are, Mr. President is already taking side. Are we hiding our own side? So the right people who engage him was PANDEF. PANDEF is the right organization where Ijaw, Ikwere, Ogoni, Shekiri, Oron, Efik, and everybody, DBO, down to Ikwere, down to Ndakwa, down to many people, Bini people everywhere. They are all members, including the Kore people. So if all that kind of organization is rightful, because there are independent minds there, like Victor Atadia. Independent mind, they are not a job people. It's not a job per se. That is the independent. That is why I told you that I'm a professional arbitrator and a professional mediator. On this matter, I cannot mediate. On this matter, I cannot arbitrate. Do you know why? Because I'm already they are taking side. So we are not worried. We are only pointing out issues that need to be well addressed, need to be discussed. We give you solution. We help you to do it, because the man belongs to us, and we don't want our man to be in that kind of situation. So that is the role we can play. and the role we will continue to play, and the role we will play till we die, because we are a job people, and one man injury to one is injury to all. So, madam, whether you like it or not, you twist me go here, you twist me go here. I'm a jaw man. I will continue to protect a jaw and its a jaw territory. So, a jaw National Congress will come out victoriously with their plans and their statements. Very mild statements. We are not at war. The jaw is not at war. River State is not at war. Shame to those people. In the next day, we know what to do. And this is that time they will come back and begin to beg Ijaw people. The same Ijaw people who went and do their needful in the day and in the night will come back for their campaign with their organs, with themselves. And when Ijaw people retaliate that Ijaw people are wicked, they don't love their brother, they don't love their this. When you are doing yours, they no see amo.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. You've always been coming through.
God bless Nigeria. We should live in peace. Everyone should see this thing as a lesson that when it happens to Alandesia, nobody knew that it will happen in Rivers State. So it's a lesson to other states too. And we should learn lesson. Even in John Nation, this speech Wike made, and our brothers who supported Wike should be a lesson to Ijaw people, so that we move from strength to strength and galvanize support more. That Ijaw is strong. No matter what they do, we are victorious. We will continue to stand by. And because we are strong, that is why they must talk about us. That is the situation. That should not deter us to be together, working as one body, one voice, and one people, and one Ijaw nation. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir, for your time. Thank you for always coming through on Beyond the Headlines. It was nice having you today. It was insightful. Thank you, sir. Good day.
Yeah, God bless you.
All right, it's still Beyond the Headlines on Baramatu Voice TV, reaching you live from the Niger Delta Media Center here in Ogunuwari, Delta State. And we have been speaking with His Royal Highness Dr. Nengi Alabo James, OON. Yes, he's the second vice president of the Ijaw National Congress. So we'll quickly clarify something. You know, during his while we're talking, there was a mistake. To be precise, former governor Seriake Dixon was the former governor of Bayelsa State and not Rivers State. We're so sorry for the mix-up. Yes, so going forward, we would like to hear your comments and, of course,
your calls.
Yes, your calls.
Please, the number will be displayed on the screen.
Yes, please call the number on your screen for us to hear your views. And before we go further, do you have comments for us?
All right, I'm checking through. I think I have a few comments. All right, this is coming from Francis. He said, a coin country where Mr. President doesn't know what to do as president, impeaching Sim Fubara is not the best initiative. All right, that is coming from Francis. Okay, Timi Perez said Nigeria need deliverance. All right.
And who is going to be the pastor?
Oh my God, I think he's going to be the pastor. All right. Charles is saying, sometimes I'm beginning to think if the judiciary is doing the right thing, as they say, that the court is the hope of a common man. Now, can the Lord tell me if the 5-man panel is bigger than the 7-man panel of 2015 of the Constitution? That is coming from Charles. All right. I have one more. This is coming from John. John is saying there are 3 people who they have impeached in government in Ijaw. 1, DSP, Alamesia. 2, Goodluck Jonathan. 3, Heritage Bank Director. Now is Sim. Why are they fighting the Ijaw people if they think we cannot do anything? Is lie. We are ready now. That is coming from John. All right. Yes, that is all I have on the comment section.
Okay, so while we wait for at least our calling guest, because at least we need a call. Just call in, want to hear your opinion. So, Best, what do you think now about the River State crisis and the state of emergency, knowing that they now have a new administrator in the person of Ibo Kete Ekwe Ibas.
And now according to our guest,
yes,
Alabonenge James, because he has actually said a lot. He said this is the same person that the president is putting. Is a friend to Wike.
I don't know if you saw the pictures a bit of the naval officer and the Wike handshaking,
exactly.
Like they were, so more like they're allies. And then
all right, exactly, that is
not
what,
bringing a total stranger,
not a total stranger, someone that is familiar
with so is it more like
we don't
we are really careful with our words, but that's why I want to hear your opinion on this. Yes.
On this. So quickly, if you want to be a part of this conversation, you want to end your view, you can quickly call the number displayed on your screen quickly before we go.
And now some persons also talked about the fact that now you're declaring state of emergency in River State. And what happens to Wike governor? What happens to the FCT minister, Jason Wike, who is still sitting pretty?
Obviously,
in
they are
the
part
federal
of
capital
this
territory.
Now there are two parties
in
this struggle. I won't even call it a power struggle right now. There are two parties involved in this struggle, which is Jason Wike, the FCT minister, and the sitting governor.
So more like
Fubara.
There's a punishment on
now,
only one
Fubara
side.
has been, suspended for the period of 6 months. What
happens
Wike?
to Jason Wike? Is this a rhetorical question?
Yes, I think
without an
we will
answer.
leave that for
our audience
to put down on the comment section. All right, if there is no caller right now, I think this is where we draw the curtain.
Yes, thank you so much. It's been insightful and it's still beyond the headlines on Baramatu Voice TV, reaching you live from the 90 Delta Media Center here in Ogunwori, Delta State. I hope you had a nice time listening to us and getting new updates on the happenings around you, especially the state of emergency declared in River State. Please do well to like all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, as at Baramatu Voice. And do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Baramatu Voice to get more insight and more information on the happenings around you. Yes, you can also visit our website at www.baramatuvoicenews.com. And from me, Agogo Iniko, is goodbye for now. And my co-host?
And always, Best Aloha is my name. A good day.
Bye.